What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be fixing a leaky Delta faucet. This is a bathtub and shower. Delta faucet, hot water side. So you can, if you look on here, you can see it'll tell you. You gotta look real good, and you can see it says Delta. That can be helpful. Now, second thing you want to do is feel what kind of water it is. And this is, you can tell this is hot. So right off the bat, you know that your hot water side is leaking. So your next step is to turn your water off. If you're lucky enough, you might have a knob somewhere to turn your water off. If not, then you might have to shut the water off. Like in this house, it's in the basement. This bathtub is on the second floor. So I had to go in the basement to find the hot water shut off. So that's your first step. Shutting the water off. Checking to see if it's hot or cold and shutting the water off. Okay, the next thing you want to do is pull the cover off. Now, I can use my finger, pull this one off. Or you can use a screwdriver, and you can see right there, you can pry it off either with your hand or a screwdriver. Now the next thing you want to do is unscrew that screw all the way out. Once you get that screw out, then you can pull the knob off. Okay, once you get the knob off, now you got left is this core that you have to take off. And you can use either a wrench or I use a pair of vice grips. And it's not on there real tight. Just have to break it. Then you can take it off with your hand. Okay, now that core holds that plastic piece in place. That's in, and, and that controls the water. It's like a water. It's like a valve. That part is called a Delta faucet cartridge, and you can see the problem with mine. It was all messed up. And this is how it should look. The plastic had eroded and the metal piece had fallen off. Okay, now taking this thing out is easy. Piece of cake. And that part hanging out there, out the wall, that's just an extension. And I'll show you. Okay, see, all that is an extension. This piece here, all that's an extension to hold this piece in there. This is the important piece, and this is just an extension. That's the part that's coming through to your knob. Like I said, taking this out is easy. But once you get that out, then you got this spring behind it. This is the part that's gonna drive you crazy. I'm letting you know now. You're going to have a lot of patience. You're going to have a lot of patience to get that spring and that rubber washer back in that pipe. Okay, basically how this thing works is this piece sits on this washer. So when you when you turn it like this, it stops. The water comes through that. It's going to come through that washer, and when it's like that, that stops the water from coming out. When you turn it, see that hole? That's when the water comes out. That's on. When you turn it, that's off. Okay, now you can see what I'm talking about. You see that hole, the rubber piece in that spring has to go on that hole. And it's a pain in the butt to get that back in there. That's the hard part. Now, when you go back to the store to get that part, you want to pay careful attention to what you have, because they make more than one type. See, this is the one I have. They also make one like this. It doesn't have a metal piece, and it's not the same as this one. So you want to pay, careful attention to what you got, and make sure it says Delta or whatever your brand is. Like I said, this is a Delta faucet. Now, here's the hard part. Once you take all that stuff out that shaft, you're going to have this spring and that rubber piece is going to be behind all of that. And you want to pay attention to that too, because that spring could be bad, I don't know. And this rubber piece sits on it like this. All right. And this is the hard part. It took me 4 or 5 hours to get this spring back in there. That is very, you're going to have a lot of patience. Like I said, you can see the difference. You got a short spring and a long spring. Now, I lost 2 springs and these rubber washers fell behind my wall. Thank God Lowe's had a whole pack. See right here? So they got a whole pack of these. Pro Value Pack. Put some light on that for you. There you go. All right, so you can get this I got this at Lowe's. Because like I say, I dropped 2 of these behind the wall. Okay, now the trick of getting that spring and washer back in the pipe. Now, you can try to use a Phillips screwdriver. The only problem with that is that spring and washer kept sliding back on the screwdriver. Okay, so basically what I did was, and you're going to have to use like 2 screwdrivers, but what I did, the guy at Lowe's helped me out. They sell these sticks there, and I whittled it down, right? So I'll show you. So I put the spring, there's a spring. You want the flat end down, the wide end to go on first, and the narrow end goes to the washer. So basically, that's what you're trying to do. You're gonna have to put that in the hole with the big stick, and you use a little stick to push it off of there, to hold it as you pull the big stick back out. Like I say, it's a pain in the butt, but this works because the washer and spring won't slide around on you. So you can push it in the hole and then use a little stick to hold the washer and spring as you pull the big stick back out. That's what I end up doing, and I got it in there. But this worked pretty good. It worked better than just trying to use a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, that worked, the stick, but this worked even better. I got this screwdriver here. I got the spring and washer on there, and I use that stick to hold it in place while I pull the screwdriver back out, the stick to hold the spring and washer in place. And I was able to get that sucker back in there after about 4 or 5 hours, guys. So yeah, that's what I use actually to get it in there. Like I said, getting that rubber washer and that spring back in that pipe is a nightmare. Now when you putting this piece back in, just see the notches. There's one there and one there. Same with the other one. See the notch? The notch there, the notch there. Just make sure when you spin it, you can tell when it's right. Like I say, you just keep spinning. You can tell when the notches are right. Then it slides in. There you go. One more thing. If you have this piece right here on flipped around, what'll happen is it'll make the knob turn a different direction. No big deal. One more thing, guys, real fast. You can use a screw that holds the knob in to keep all this together. And then once you get everything in there, you can pull that screw back out and then put it back in with the knob. Now, all you got to do is just put everything back together and you're done. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you.